and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you how I got all A stars in my GCSEs and how you can do it too, and if it's not GCSEs, how you can get the best results possible at A levels. Obviously these tips and tricks don't only apply to GCSEs, they will also apply to A levels or any other exams that take place. Also, I hope you like this prop I made for the thumbnail. I really like it. I think it's really clever, just I can put it on my hand. It looks like an okay, right, well, it doesn't always work. It takes a while to stand up, but it looks like an optical illusion. How does the A stand up? It's made out of paper. Look, it's literally just paper. But yeah, so that is gonna sit hopefully there and behave while I also do have a chemistry joke there, which I don't know if you can even see. You might be able to. I don't think so. It says, I'll just bring it up. Think like a proton, always be positive. I just, approve of the message and actually like the notebook, and it is my chemistry notebook. Anyway, let's get on with the video. I went off on a complete tangent there. 1. Let me just check my notes. Starting early. I remember starting making notes for my GCSEs back in 4th year, end of September-esque time. First 3 weeks, didn't really do enough to make notes, but as soon as I finished my first topic, which probably was history as far as I'm aware, I started making notes then and kept on making notes and making more as the topics continued. So every time I finished a topic, I would write notes. Then we would usually get class tests, which I would then revise for and then use the notes to help me with the class test. And the better you do in the class test, the better you are doing overall. So good notes are useful to come back to at later, and you're also not as stressed in the long run because you've got the notes already made, which is a bonus for that that final 2-month period where just everything is going on in your head. You can't focus, but you've already got your notes made because you started early. You kept on going through it the entire year. It is sometimes tough to be bothered, but just get them done and you will not regret it later. And number 2 is class tests. Class tests are really annoying. They really are. It was kind of like, oh, I've got another test today, but they're very useful. If you focus on making the class test go as well as possible, if you do enough work for them, then you should do better in the long run, if you know what I mean. In most subjects, we had a class test after each topic, and then if you revise well for them, you get the work done earlier, get stuck in your head for longer because you've learned it for test, get your test back, and you can also learn from your test. Number 3, we have mocks or / internal school exams. So in my school, we have January exams, so you revise over Christmas and then go and do exams second week back in January, and then June exams, so you go and then in June, or it was usually the last week of May, first week of June, you do more exams, which meant that you were tested regularly at the start and end of the year, or middle and end of the year. But that's how it worked. Then in 5th year, second year of GCSEs, we had proper mocks in January, and we also had an actual maths exam. We had a mock in December for that. We had actual maths GCSE, and then we had our actual GCSEs at the end of. Sorry, this looks really cool. The A looks really weird, doesn't it? Ooh. Anyway, yeah. So we had our actual GCSEs at June. So for the mocks and internal exams, if you work at them as if they are the real thing, you will do much better than them, and you'll be much better prepared by the time you come round to doing the actual GCSEs. And you can learn from mistakes. So whenever you get your mark back and you go, okay, I got 87%, that's very good, that's an A, that would be an A star in most cases, A star, depending on how you do and everything else. Whenever it gets brought up to uniform marks, you'll probably get an A star with that. But what did I get wrong? So say it was chemistry and you did a couple of calculations wrong, maybe you need to focus on calculations. If it was English and you didn't use the key term, you need to use the key term more and remember that. If it's history and you forgot dates, learn the dates, for example. Yeah, that's kind of most subject. If it's maths and you did something wrong, then you need to get better at maths. Yeah, maths is just it's either right or it's wrong, which is what I like about it. But yeah, learn from your mistakes, practice the things that you got wrong in your mocks, and you should be able to get them right in the end. And the last point I have, number 4, is checks page. Past paper questions, past papers. Well, past papers in general, like the full papers. Do as many of them as you can. It really helps you know what's coming up, helps you to visualize, or whenever you go into the exam, you know kind of the layout before you even begin. You know what you're expecting. And oh yeah, when I say do as many as possible, do a maximum of 1 per day. If you do any more than 1 a day, you'll go through them far too quickly. No, per subject, I'm saying 1 past paper per subject a day. Oh no, 1 past paper of a subject per day. Yeah. Not you don't have to do all of the subjects in 1 day, or you can do 1 or 2 or 3, but never one more of the same subject in 1 day. Yeah, don't do any more in 1 day, and don't start too early because you'll go through them all, and because you want to start once you finish the content in school. So once you've finished everything in school, start past papers, or if there's a unit 1, unit 2. After you finish unit 1, do the past papers, or some of them. And then coming up to the GCSEs, I was doing a past paper every single day. For the 5 days for the chemistry exam, I did 5 past papers. For the 5 days for physics, I did 5 physics, etc., etc. I done a couple throughout the year, and it helps you know the knowledge in an exam situation, helps you be able to write it out. And whenever you mark them with the mark schemes, you learn from the mark schemes. Memorize those. Well, you don't have to memorize mark schemes usually, but except for RE and sometimes history, but RE is the main one. Learn what the exams want you to write. Learn if there's a question that keeps coming up. Learn those 6 bullet points for that 6-mark essay. Learn the things that SIA/AQA/Edexcel want you to learn. And keep past paper trackers. I had a list on every time I did one. I filled it in and said, okay, so I did this well, what did I do wrong, what didn't I do well in, what things should I improve, that kind of thing. And also plotted a graph because I'm weird like that, and saw, like, you know, this one here, this one here, I'll do it your way, this one here, that kind of thing. And then the trend line was going up, which is good, that's what you want to see, but sometimes, like, I did have one where it's like, duh. I was going, oh no, big drop out of it, but it was like back up at the end, but there was a drop. Sometimes you will get a big drop. Don't feel bad, it's just what happens. On the exam day, your results will probably be slightly lower than expected because of this exam situation. For me, definitely the case. Some of them were a bit lower than I would have expected at home, but then at home, you're doing it not in exam conditions fully and in the comfort of your home rather than in the stressful situation of an exam hall. Mistakes are good in past papers. You don't want to be making as many mistakes at the end, but near the start, you can afford to make as many as you need, as many as you do. But learn from them. Use the mark schemes. Learn, like, for example, in CA definitions, there are certain points they want you to get in. If you get the definition wrong in the past paper, mark it wrong, and then fix it. And once you fixed it, then hopefully you'll know it for the exam. You'll learn the definition again and again until you get it right in your head, and then go into the exam and do it. So yeah, those are my 4 tips for how I got A stars in GCSE. That's basically what I did, explaining to you how so that you can do it too. So I hope you enjoyed this video on how I got all my A stars and how you too can get your A stars, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!